Hey everyone, this is Malkazar returning with another installment to the Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. Last we played was quite a while ago because of the ridiculousness going on with the queues. In fact, tonight I still had to wait an hour and a half to get in. So hopefully we don't get kicked out or anything, otherwise we might be finding something else to play. So, last we played, we finished the dungeon Malika's Well. Over here. Defeated the Light Warden, Sunlar's Knight. It says to speak to your stole the Crystarium for this one, but I do know I need to finish this series of side stories, which is essentially this expansion's version of the story quests, or the job quests. So let's continue. Hey there, sinner. I broke the bad news to the widow of that scavenger while you were away. She took it about as well as you'd expect. After she cried herself hoarse, I started asking her about the choker and where her husband had got it. Seemed he and his mates took a trip to Ilmeg a year or so back, hoping to cart off all the verbertite treasures they could carry from an untouched ruin they learned about. Of course, in their greed, they neglected to account for the Fey folk who killed or drove mad most of them. Those who survived didn't come away empty-handed, though. In fact, they stumbled upon a remarkable find: 3 sacred treasures of the royal family. They escaped it too, the Fangs of Orthus being one of them, which was sold by another scavenger to a Yulmorin, either that merchant you met at the Beehive or an agent of his, I'd wager. So the merchant gives it over to Melinda for restoration, after which Dikaiosine attacks Right, presumably because he's after it as well. Meanwhile, the scavenger-haired Mortsuit keeps the choker, the Eyes of Orthus locked away for safekeeping. When he finally decides to sell it, the sinless bastard shows up again. Which brings us to the here and now. Damned if I know why, but at this point there's no denying that Dikaiosine's been hunting the royal relics. And so, assuming he hasn't already claimed the third one, the Claws of Orthus, then I say we should get our hands on it first, and then use it to lure him out of hiding. But to that end, we'll have to venture into the Fairy Kingdom ourselves. The scavengers didn't receive the warmest welcome, and we're not like to be treated any better. Except I might. I've traveled to Ilmeg before. Have you now? And the little devils let you go? I can only assume they've taken a liking to you. That settles it then. We'll head to Ilmeg and ask for this verbertite ring. Alright, so let's go get this taken care of. Back to Leader Loran. No. Ooh, not locked. I see that I have a piece of mail as well, so I'll have to stop by and get that in Crystarium when I get there. What a remarkably uneventful trip. I kept jumping at shadows, waiting for Cedars or foul demons or worse to attack, but that might be preferable to the Fae, frankly. So, we're going to have to deal with them eventually if we're going to find this ring. After all, the Numo were part of Verbertite's society, and without their help, I'm not sure where to even begin our search. Perhaps there's a village of some sort you can guide us to. Let's plot any. Plot any, eh? Very well. Lead on, sinner. Lead on, as in, I'll meet you there eventually. Oh, I was already up there. Question the residents. Something about your demeanor that bespeaks a question unasked. Have I the right of it? C. A ring that belonged to the royal family of Verbertite. It was what's called the Claws of Orthus. But Verbert is long gone, as are the caretakers of the ring you seek. Who can say where it might have gone to? Oh, hello there. You have questions for me? The Clouds of Orthus. It is a ring, you say? The name I have heard before, but I know nothing save that. Oh, Sul Ol served the royal family before the flood. Somewhat temperamental they are, but sure they will have knowledge of this treasure you seek. And just have a conversation or three? Learn anything interesting? So the Sul Ol is the one we ought to speak with, eh? A former servant of the royal family, which would mean they've lived well over a century. Bugger me. Found it very quickly because of their name tag. I do not know you, yet you seem to know me. The fifth was discovered yesterday. A young girl not yet of age, transformed into a misshapen beast like the others before her. As if we needed more proof of a pattern. At this rate, any citizen would be next. Tell me you at least learned something from this one. I studied her remains myself. 'Twas plain that powerful magic had been employed. Vestiges of the enchantment lingered long after. The culprit, I think, is not a man to be trifled with. That is all I can say for now, but you may rest assured that I will ascertain their identity ere long. On my honor as a court mage, I swear it. Until I do, however, I would implore you and your fellow knights to dispatch any who turn or show signs, without hesitation. But these are our kith and kin. Should we not try to keep them alive until a way to reverse the transformation can be found? Your mercy would place countless others at risk. As a knight of Verbert, did you not vow to serve all her people? Justice for the weakest among us, was it not? How many innocents will die before you do what must needs be done? It pains me deeply, Brandon, but the safety of the royal family is paramount. I've heard that to take anything less than the most drastic measures would be to invite death into this castle. Death is already here. Surely you must see that. I will not let it be whispered that Princess Saldia turned a blind eye to her people's suffering. These crimes are a tragedy that weighs upon every Verbertite soul, mine most of all, and that is why I'll take charge of the investigation myself. My lady, be reasonable. You cannot put yourself in harm's way. You have a responsibility to your subjects. So I'm to gamble with their lives instead? Let them shield me while I alone take shelter, and look down upon them from on high? Yes, exactly. You are their princess. You are Brandon, yes? The new recruit? A rather promising one from what the captain has told me. You will attend me personally. My lady? You heard me. I will not stand idly by when I have the power to make a difference. Together we will see justice done for all, as your vow and your princess demand. Stare, stare, stare. Lady Saldia, I understand. Forgive my hesitation. My life and my sword are yours to command. I have great expectations for you. I trust you will not disappoint me. Right, there is no telling when our culprit will strike again, so we must begin our investigation at once. There are witnesses to be questioned, clues to be gathered. Come, come. And now, Lady Saldia, Lady Saldia. Ever the stubborn child. I wish you the best of luck, Brandon. You will need it and more. Doesn't tell me anything about the ring. That's what I want. Hey, are you alright? The way you're holding your head as if racked by a terrible pain. What happened to you just now? Lady Saldia, you saw her with your mind's eye, then it is as I suspected. You have the gift too. You are like Brandon. What do you mean he's like Brandon? Why have you come to me? What is it that you seek? I see, and for this hunt of yours, you have come to Ilmeg in search of the claws of Orthus. I'm afraid this is no simple matter. First, I would know that you're capable of facing the eater you seek. Test. Combat test. Awesome. There's a spot in a river not far from here in which I used to bathe until a number of beasts grew equally fond of it. If you are the warrior you claim to be, they should pose no challenge whatsoever. As for you, I have questions. Huh. Little dance. So I'm gonna go fight some beasts. Yeah, it's actually not too far at all. Wait, what? Aether Compass has been moved to your collection. What does that mean? That's something that happened with all the... What? Oh, how do I find Aether Currents? I'll have to deal with that later. When I actually get to a place I don't have all the Aether Currents. This collection. There we go. That was easy. Now let's teleport over. It's a lot quicker. I remember setting these up in a fashion that was akin to what raiders used at the time before Endwalker came out. Now I don't. It's like I said, it's been over a month, so I'm like, what are my buttons? What am I set up for? It's going to take a bit of getting used to. The beasts are no more then? Good, good. I hadn't the heart to do it myself, for they were no ordinary beasts, but old friends who had survived the flood. Victims of the curse you heard us speak of in your vision. So this curse transforms people into monsters, like us Satan Eaters can spawn more of their own kind. I will speak no more of this or other matters until after you completed the task I set before you. This is not negotiable, grandson. Because they're accepted by terms, so must you. No secret of the both of you. Can't be able to speak plain. Your comrade refuses to acknowledge his situation. This may take time, but I am patient. Indeed, I've dealt with many a stubborn child in my life. Might as well just keep doing these, I guess. There's going to be a point where I'm going to need to have all these finished before I can continue the story. So, exemplary timing, even though you were just standing there. 'Twas not more than a moment ago that grants in return, having at last obliged my humble request. Even though I didn't move. Humble request, my ours. This one's no better than the Yulmoran aristocrat. So accustomed to make others do their bidding. I tell you, there's something off-putting about taking orders from a dog. Or you continue to give me cause to reconsider aiding your hunt. Perhaps you should ask your questions. Fine. Malchazar said he saw a vision of you and Brandon looking thick as thieves. You were friends, eh? Know what he's up to now? Brandon is dead. He died a century ago, together with his comrades in an attempt to halt the flood that they themselves set in motion. I presume you speak of the eater that took possession of his corpse. Dakayasign, aye, but unlike most eaters, he's been doing more than roam about aimlessly. For some reason, he's been hunting down royal treasures of old verberts. And he's been killing anyone who got in his way. Is he now? What irony. Even to death, he remains a slave to duty, a knight brave and true. He's a murderer, and I'll not hear it said otherwise. He ruined my life. Killed my beloved right before my very eyes. Every night I go to bed dreaming of the day I'll take my revenge. Oh, I see. Truly you've suffered a terrible loss, but while your thirst for vengeance is quite natural and understandable, it is ultimately misguided. Unusual behavior notwithstanding, Dakayasign is nevertheless no more than an eater. To hate him is to hate the sea that claims a ship, the disease that steals a child, the tremor that topples the home, the mindless force of a nature that begets destruction, driven by fragmented memory. Don't you dare make excuses for him. You think I wanted any of this? I grew up on a farm. I could barely wield a sword. Now I've got to kill one of the bloody cardinal virtues. Hate and anger and vengeance are all I've got now. Every waking moment is dedicated to plotting his death. It has to be. It has to be. But let's tell me where the God's damn ring is, and we'll be on our way. This is how it has to be, Who you have to be? Nay, I think not. You ask too much, demand far, far too much, and in exchange for what? This it cannot abide. Are you trying to barter with me? You little shite. Tell me what I want to know, or I'll beat it out of you. Back off, Malchazar. I won't let anyone or anything stand between me and Melinda's murderer. Brandon was a dear friend. To know that an eater disgraces his flesh and his memory pains me more than I can well express. It would bring me great comfort if you were to grant him peace. I should like to share with you a story, if you'd be so kind as to join me in Liagia. I said better have a point. Oh, duty calls. Tis beautiful even now, a palace of forgotten dreams, but before it was Liagia, in the time of Verbert, it was Gruenus Licht. The memory of mine in which you walked was of a troubled time, when the people of our kingdom were preyed upon by an ambitious fool. Brandon, then a young knight who had only just won his spurs, had caught the eye of Princess Saldia, who chose him as her personal guardian. However, he was far too inexperienced and was unable to keep her safe when she was ventured outside these walls in one of her investigations. For his failure, he was stripped of his knighthood, and shortly thereafter he quit Verbert. I thought I would never see him again. Looks like she was still alive to me. But then one day he returned, one of several wandering adventurers led by a man named Ardbert, who had accepted our invitation to look into the mysterious transformations which had continued unabated in Brandon's absence. Lady Saldia was overjoyed, and for a time it was like nothing had changed. We spoke often and grew even closer. And then came the day when we learned the truth. We learned that the architect of our kingdom's suffering was none other than the court mage, Tadric. Aw, more memories. It's him, Brandon. I'm sorry. So am I. Come, let's have done with it. It was you, Tadric. Do not deny it. Tormenting our people, twisting and transforming them into monsters. And for what? Brandon. After I took such pains to be rid of you. You may strip me my titles, but not my oaths. I shall serve Lady Saldia till my dying breath. As you like. Once I have killed you and your friends, there will be no one left to stop me from claiming the throne. Hear me, my children, the hour of reckoning is at hand. Rejoice, for in noble sacrifice shall you find everlasting glory. Lord Tadric, it hurts. Soon you shall know no more pain. I was going to make it quick for old time's sake, but now I think I ought to take my time. I get to play somebody else again, role playing. Three. Cool. Come, my children, run up your lives for your master. For all your crimes and more, you will pay. The direct approach isn't working. Your feeble tricks are no match for my magics. He's drawing upon the eighth of his thralls. Kill them. Poor bastards. That's what you get for trusting a court mage. Brandon, bring them all close. Alright, they're close. What are you gonna do? There we go. Kaboom. Such an incredible display of strength. The stuff of legends. There's no escape, Tadric. Surrender. Well, I still don't know if so many lives at my disposal. I think not. Come, children, and death shall your meaningless lives gaining for purpose. List of limit. Go to Nilbert. Now burn bright for me and die, die, die. How many more of you must die for your vanity? Brandon, don't let him cast a spell. Do whatever it takes. Interject. Kaboom. Mind flares. Or pisco demons. They're most tenacious, but everyone has their limits. We have to stand together, understood? Now separates. I'm gonna heal myself up a bit, hang on. No sacrifice is too great to claim what is mine by right. Rise, my children, rise and defend me. Ugh. Tadric. Surely no one can harness such a massive torrent of ether. Such obedient children to offer up their lives in sacrifice. I'm repentant to the last. This madness dies with you. Oh, he's taking no damage? Of course he isn't. How much longer can you hold the line, I wonder? Bastards, can you drag this out? We can't keep this up forever. I wish that they would do the damage to their own dudes. Now's our chance to turn the tide. Okay. How so? I've still got a few arrows in my quiver. Bring them all in the center like before. Yep, we're all here. Bum bum kaboom! Yeah, Tadric, you're next. Time to thin the herd, starting with that dwarf, perhaps. Don't you touch her, you bastard. Brandon, we have to defend Limit at all costs. Oof. Ooh, I thank you both. Oh, these guys die pretty quickly. I'm tired of these theatrics. Let us end this farce here and now. I agree. This castle will be your tomb. He's vast channeling a vast quantity of ether. What are you preparing? We cannot let him finish. What is he doing? Sanctified Quake 3. You heard Lamet. We have to stop him. Well, yeah, let's kill this guy first. You heal me or what? Don't ask for a mercy, Tadric. You won't get it. Alright, now he's all by himself. He's facing that way, so I get behind him and I'm like, do a little bit more damage. And done. Meddlesome wretch, this kingdom is by rights mine. Brandon, what is the meaning of this? Tadric, you. But why? You're serving us faithfully for so many years. I am no servant. No servant, not of your mother or father or you. My lady. Dang, Rector. Gods damn you. With his dying breath, he attacked her. Lady Syldia, speak to me. Brandon, my dear brave Brandon, am I your princess still? Would you honor your vows even now? Now and ever after, my lady. My sword is yours to command. Oh, that as well. Would that I had the strength to wield it myself. Still your heart, brave Brandon, for the good of Verbert and her people. No, 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 I cannot. I will not. Honor your vows to your kingdom, to your princess. Huge hands. To your friend who never doubted you, who knew what you would turn to justice. Justice. No, it should be me. Brandon, my sword, now and ever after. We've rounded up the rest of Tadric's co-conspirators and tossed them in the jail. The ones who haven't been corrupted by his magics, that is. There's a nod. I'll not hesitate again, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. He was tearing up there at the end. Well, you saw what happened? Wicked White. He begs him to do it, like Melinda. Come, let us quit this place and return to Plaini. Actually, it's faster to teleport, so I'll do that. Perfect. Do you know why I entered in the royal family service many long years ago? Because when I was attacked by a wild beast which nearly tore me to shreds, it was Lady Saldia who came to my rescue. She saved me, and that is a debt that can never be repaid, for there is not in this world which holds greater value than life itself. Not even her death absolves me of it, and so I must always first consider her wishes, her desires, what she would want for me and her kingdom, for Brandon, and yes, even for you, grandson. For me, to define oneself in opposition to the other, and the other bereft of complexity or of nuance wholly devoid of redeeming qualities, a villain. Indeed, there is comfort and certainty in hatred. It is all a false and fleeting comfort, bought with lies we tell ourselves about who we are, what we must be, and what we must do. And never you mind the cost. If anything, the more we offer up and sacrifice, the better. Do you not see? Brandon was right to hesitate, to doubt. The unwavering blade cares not whom it serves, nor who it cuts. I think I need a moment. Perhaps you do as well. Leave us for now, Malkazar. And then come back in 2 seconds and pick up the next one. Looks like it's the final one. Oh yeah. And then I'll be able to get back to the actual main story, even though this is a pretty cool side story. Grandson, I have given you ample time to consider the path that has brought you here, and where it invariably leads all who walk it. I didn't know what to do after I lost Melinda, how to mourn her, or how to live. I felt that if I put it all on Takai's side, put my everything into the hunt, that at least I wouldn't have to think about it myself or what comes next. I wanted to hollow myself out and fill up with that hole of hate, forget who I was. And irony of ironies, that's just what the poor bastard tried to do himself a century ago, isn't it? Hard men make hard choices. What rot. Give him peace and you will find your own. Maybe. Still, that thing is no more than a mindless eater. Nothing I can say or may do to make it right. So I'll finish the hunt for Melinda and for Brandon, and then I'll move on. Move on, you say? I can't live off hate. Shouldn't have made it this far, frankly. The more I try to reach for it, the more I find sorrow, pity. Curse not fate, but mourn her victims. Remember the dead as they lived. Something like that. I reckon Malkazar would agree. And Melinda, if she were here, would probably slap me a dozen times and call me a bloody fool for acting the way I have. Or maybe you've been thinking about doing that in her stead, eh? Yeah, smack him up. Apologies for treating you with such disrespect before, Solul. I'd like to claim I finally understand what you've been trying to tell me all this time, but I'm still getting my head around it. Recognizing your faults is the first and most important step. I will tell you what I know of the Claws of Orthus. The ring, together with the bracelet and choker, were 3 relics passed down through the royal family over generations, signifying the owner's right to rule. Princess Saldia was the last of her line, and after her death, they were stored in a sanctuary for safekeeping. However, a year ago, a band of thieves learned of its existence. The ones who stole the fangs and the eyes of Orthus? Yes, the relics were concealed with magical wards. I can only presume that once they were spirited away, Dakayasan was then able to sense their presence. Even in death, a slave to duty, you said. You think he pursued the thieves out of an instinctive loyalty to his princess? That I do. After all, he was content to leave them to be so long as they remained hidden. Only 2 of the 3 were taken, then the 3rd is still... Claim the Claws of Orthus, and he will surely come for you, yes. Tim Gaius is where you must go. Once you arrive at the place I marked on your map, cast this powder into the air. Well, the glamour will fade, and you will see the chest with the ring. The rest is up to you. Thank you, Sulul. I promise you will bring your friend peace. With me, sinner. And may you find peace as well, child. Where is it located? Is it even in the same zone? Looks like it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna fly over there. Yeah, Midgar Swarmer. Yeah. While I'm flying, I'm going to take me a drink. Wait for maps, or I wouldn't have any idea where I am. There it is, and there's going to be a fight, and the end of the storyline likely. Here we go. Commence the battle. You have loved and lost. You toss the powder into the air, and as it slowly settles to the earth as twinkling motes of light, the coffer begins to take shape. There's more than one ring in there. Is that the right one? This must be the Claws of Orthus. All that's left to decide when and where we want to confront the Eater. Right here. That's what I thought. Or we could deal with it here and now. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Hey there, old man. I don't know you, and you don't know me, but I know your story. I know this isn't you. I know that Lady Saldia was here. She'd say the same thing. It'll all be over soon, I promise you. Ooh, interesting battle music. Come, let's put the poor bastard out of his misery. What the? Did he do that? Well, that's hardly fair. Hold on, Sinner. This is unsurprisingly complicated. Still with me? What are you doing? I didn't get behind him in time. What That doesn't smell right. Stand back. Yeah. Like the thing he had to stand in was in an AoE, so I guess we'll try that again. Oh, they have easy versions now? No, this is the real thing. I'm not gonna cheapen it up just because I lost. All right, for that stun. Dang it. Whoa, what are you doing over there? Whoa, I can't get over there. Hacks. Hacks. Yeah, that's what I thought. Get back in the middle. Whoa, what am I getting hit by? That's a little ridiculous. Should I come back later? I don't want to have to. I lost around the same time, too. I thought I was outside of the AoE. I just gotta keep myself healed up, I guess. Alright, here we go. Here, I'll throw a hollow ground out. There. Awful bastard, isn't he? But I'm the slouch myself. Well, hopefully he doesn't do that again, because that would kill me. Seraph Blade, so get behind him. Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, come on, not again. Wicked White. I felt that one. Thanks. There's the big one again. Oof. Okay. Dang, just everything all over the place. Ow. I have no mana. Well, I can't heal myself. That didn't do much for me. Yeah, the big one is back. So you take those down so you don't get the magic vulnerability. That's what these are for. Thought I got that one, but okay. Come on. 0.3%. There we go. Got him. Damn, Meter, let him go. He's not your bloody puppet. Oh, it's a messed up crystal. And finally, you watching, Melinda? Now and ever after, my lady Saldia, my sword is yours to command. Brandon, he's still in there? I'll not hesitate again, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. Wait, is he trapped in the memory still? You're wrong, Brandon. That's not what she would want. Let go of your anger. Let go of her. But that would make me lesser in your eyes, wouldn't it? To shoulder a burden that need not be mine. No, I will not forsake compassion and love. I will not dishonor your memory. Oh, my lady Saldia. He's gone. And with that, the three treasures of the royal family are reunited. Now we've just got to find a place to stick them so that no scavenger ever stumbles upon them again. Speak and read. Least we could do for the princess and her knight, am I right? Maybe Sul will have some ideas. Let's head back to Platini. I'm just going to teleport now. It is done. Brandon has been laid to rest. You saw us when we arrived. Do you really have to ask? No, I suppose not. Oh, my dear friend, I pray you have found peace. What of you, grandson? Has the turmoil in your heart subsided at last? I suppose so. Though to be honest, I felt like I made peace with him before we even fought. Because you finally saw him for what he was and accepted that truth into your heart. The battle was but an afterthought. How easy for you to say. You didn't have to cross blades with the bloke. By the way, I brought you some gifts. The three royal relics of Verbert. Then Brandon was safeguarding both the bracelet and the choker. Now it's your turn to look after the whole lot. That's what Lady Saladia and her knight would have wanted, I reckon. Yes, of course, that their souls may sleep soundly forevermore, we shall enshrine these relics for all eternity. Now that's settled, I suppose we should be on our way. There's a detour I'll have to take, but afterwards I'd like to speak with you back at the usual spot, in the Crystarium. You will, Sulol. I think that one has a bright life ahead of him. Few can find the strength to overcome such terrible tragedy, but he did. As of you, on no few occasions, I am sure. It has been a pleasure, Malchezair. Do visit me should you ever yearn to hear an old fool prattle on and on. I wonder how many people are like, visit me when you get it, and then you're like, nope. Never. I gotta go back to the Crystarium for both of these anyway, so let's just go back and talk to Grandson first, finish that up, and then we'll go talk to Y'shtola, and continue the actual main story. Or as they call it, the main scenario quests. There's over by there. Oh, this is new. This is actually pretty handy. Must have changed that with the Endwalker. I haven't seen that yet. You can actually click on the teleporter as opposed to trying to remember which one it is. That's much better. wonder what reward I get other than the materia. Well met, Sinner. Glad to see you made it back safe and sound. Having returned to where it all began, I can't help but think back to when I first came here, thinking only of Dakai-san and my revenge. I was so wrapped up in my own personal affairs that I didn't realize I was only pushing others away. Leonard was the only one who saw through the facade. He's a perceptive one. I took one look at me and when I got back and broke into a smile. But enough about him. I've yet to thank you properly, Malkazer. I owe you so much for sticking with me to the end. What's next for you, Sinner? Good question. Can't say I feel at home here or in Riot or anywhere else, so I might spend some time on the road. I may not be as skilled a fighter as you, but I reckon I'm better than most, and there's always someone in need of a reliable sword hand. Melinda would want me to use my talents for a noble purpose, and helping folks in need fits the bill. Hells, isn't that what Brandon and his comrades wound up doing in the end? So let's not call it a goodbye. Let's just say, until the next hunt. Wheresoever you go, may you find shade, Sinner. Let's grab that. Oh, I got all three of them. Never mind. Glad I pick it. All right, onward. Now there should be nothing getting in the way of me and the main story. Oh, that's right. Minfilia 2.0 changed your name to Ryan. The others are with the Exarch. Before we join them, there's something I wish to confirm. Tell me, Ryan, have you noticed anything peculiar about Malkazer's appearance of late? Anything at all? Speak freely, he won't mind. Well, since Minfilia bequeathed their power to me, I've been able to see the light inside him. Though I didn't think of anything of it at first, but after we defeated the Warden at Amarang, I realized something was wrong. You've absorbed its ether, Malkazer, and the light within you has grown monstrous. Then it is as I suspected. How are you feeling? I'm feeling fine. Well, never mind. Malkazer! If not as done, this will only get worse. Ryan, with the power of the Oracle, you have gained some measure of control over light, have you not? Is there anything you can do for him? Extinguishing it is out of the question. Even at our strongest, Minfilia could only hold back the light. I might be able to suppress it, but I don't know for how long. And we have no choice but to rely on Urianger and his secrets. If the next battle is to be the last, may you You may yet be able to play your part, but you will need all of your strength. I will discuss strategy with the others and see that everything is made ready for our departure. You are to return to your chambers and rest until then. Understood? Yes, mother. Understood. Good. Whether you want it or not, you have most certainly earned some respite. Actually, before I get in here, let me see if I can find that mail and see what that's for. Where's the nearest mail spot? Could have just taken north from there. Okay, back to the Dossel Gate. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. Maybe it is upstairs. Tomorrow launch. Dang it. Okay. There it is. Perfect. Cool. I think that's what I got for doing the pre-order. No? Maybe not. I don't remember. Maybe just for buying Endwalker in the first place. The special edition. Let's go talk to Ardbert. Quite yourself. Perhaps a hot meal and a freshly made bed will improve matters. Your room is ready if you care to retire. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing important to the story. Is there right when I walk in? Is this one going to be voice acted? Why did you stay behind?
Sometimes the dead would rather not be disturbed. But enough about me. What of Armorang? I see. Minfili has gone then. Which means the reason I must suffer this purgatory shall forever remain a mystery. What's the matter? Are you all right?
Maybe he's supposed to take the light.
What just happened?
There was something Menphilius said to me.
Menphilius said my time had not yet come. That I still had a role to play. Not even the most valiant heroes can stand alone. No, it couldn't be. There's only one hero in this room, and it is not me. I'm just a shadow, cursed to wander.
Knock, knock.
Forgive the intrusion, but Menphilia, that is, Reen, and the
Oh,
others
that's
are
right.
asking after you.
Reen, not Rhine. Reen.
Is everything all right?
Nope. When am I going to find out about your crystal?
That pain again? And did it pass? Thank goodness for that. I would not wish to see you suffer. Though I know only too well how much you have suffered on our behalf in recent days. Indeed, I have no right to impose upon you further. Nevertheless, I must ask one thing of you. That you survive this, no matter what.
Lame.
When the dust settles, you must return to your world, for the battles to come, and the wars yet unwon. The final Light Warden is all that stands between us and victory. There is still much we must do to prepare, but for now, I will see if there is aught that may remedy the strange affliction which plagues you.
The end is finally in sight.
Indeed it is. But for now, put all such concerns from your mind. I'll not keep you from your rest any longer. Take as much time as you like.
You imagine I like go to sleep and just die. Be like, oh, game's over. I'll have to have somebody else do the last Light Warden. No, this isn't right. It would need to be later, after the liberation of Alamigo, perhaps. Please tell me you finished. We have to go. They'll be upon us at any moment. Very well. Where to next, then? Let's just worry about getting out of the city. I pray the airship is still in one piece. Anywhere we go from here will just be more of the same. Whose eyes am I seeing through? God, but at the sound of that last one, I reckon the Knight's 12 might be Knight's Rebel by now. Is there nothing else we can do? Dude, look around you. This isn't war. It's a sickness, and it's spread to every corner of Eorzea. The city-states are in disarray. And by all accounts, the Far East faring no better. There'll be nothing left of us when this is over. This world is beyond saving. I never tire of that story when the hero swoops in astride a white dragon to save the little girl. I could die happy knowing someone like that is still around. Indeed, but not today, not while our message remains undelivered. What is it? A glimpse of the future or something? Have faith, my friend. We will find him. Or is there something going on because I'm in this other world? I'm not seeing it. Back on Eorzea. Or Hydaelyn is the name of the planet. Source. Was that the past? I mean, how far into the past? Heaven's word is written about my deeds and everything that happened around them. No Ardbert today. Shrouded in darkness. I like the new achievement point little graphic there. I got a new trophy for that too. Not trophy, but a title. Aw, yeah. I trust you had a pleasant rest while you were ensconced in your chamber. A message arrived for you from the Exarch. It means you come to the Ocular at your earliest convenience. Wherever your duties may take you. Next, I shall pray for your safe return. May the night keep you. So you can't just click on that anymore. Actually, let me do a test. Maybe you can double click. Yep, that'll work. So you wait for it to finish moving the map and putting the crosshairs on the Aether shard that you want to go to, and then you click it again. Or you just click on the Aether shard on the map. Options. Cool. I like options. Get some voice acting.
There you are. May I assume you've had your fill of rest? That is well. Now that we are all present, let us speak of our plan. Thus far, we have vanquished 4 light wardens, restoring night to much of Norvrand. Only one remains, that of Calusia. And with Reen to guide us, I am certain we will find it.
He looks unamused.
We're so close now. If we can just take care of this one last warden, we'll rob the Sin Eaters of their final foothold and drive them out of Norvrand once and for all.
If only it were that easy.
A new beginning for the first. A chance for the people to rebuild their world.
In short, a prize worth fighting for.
And in thus delivering the first from destruction, so too shall we unsow the seeds of the 8th umbral calamity.
Do you hear? Your dreamed of rejoining is in jeopardy. Are you sure you're not tempted to intervene?
You labor under the misapprehension that vanquishing the Sin Eaters is tantamount to saving the world. It is not. In truth, you only delay the inevitable, lengthening your fleeting lives by the smallest of margins. Would be churlish of me to deny you this small concession, close as we've become. Foolish and misguided though you are not without charm. Each and every one of you is possessed of a noble heart. When the weak want for succor, you do not hesitate to provide it. Alas, your nobility is short-sighted. You think only of the problem in front of your nose. A limitation of your ephemeral existence.
Our lives may seem short and insignificant to the likes of you, but one does not need to be an eternal being to achieve lasting change.
If I may stop you there, I do not claim that we Ascians are special. That is another misconception. In the beginning, everyone lived nigh for eternity. Such was the natural order of things. But like so much else, this was taken from you. You won't object if I borrow your plaything? In the distant past, when the world was one and whole, a great calamity threatened all life. It began without warning. The very laws of the star were warped and broken, and chaos swiftly spread throughout the land. Faced with annihilation, we sought to imbue the star with its own will. Thus was Zodiac born, and by his power was order restored. Ere long, however, thankless fools began to fear that Zodiac's might was too great, and so they conjured another to keep him in check. Your own dear Hydaelyn.
And the two beings waged war until, with a single devastating blow, Hydaelyn unmade Zodiac, scattering his being across space and time. So you told us in the Katana Ravel.
Yes. And there began our woes, with Hydaelyn's blow and all that it wrought. As a counterbalance to Zodiac, Hydaelyn was created with the power to enervate her foe. This singular ability strikes not at such banal things as flesh, but everything that defines the target, diluting its existence. For example, were she to strike you? Two individuals, identical in appearance yet reduced in all respects. Strength, intelligence, the soul itself, all is halved. Do you see? This self-same fate befell not only Zodiac, but the very star. fortunate enough to escape the Sundering, me being one of them. When I beheld the shattered remnants of our home, I knew deepest despair. The inhabitants of these 14 fragments were feeble, frail and foolish, oblivious to their imperfection, ignorant of their past. Malformed creatures thrashing blindly about, pitiful, disturbing, depressing. So, we took it upon ourselves to rejoin the worlds. But in our eager descent, I confess our ignorance. We erred and made a useless void of the 13th. It was only afterwards that we discovered a connection twixt source and shard. A flow of energy that maintains elemental balance. And thus did we arrive at our time-honored modus operandi.
From a purely Asian standpoint, it could be said that what you seek to do is only logical. But that would be to ignore the immeasurable destruction wrought with each rejoining. You have murdered millions, and this we cannot condone.
By your fragmented existence, you continue to give rise to tragedies far crueler than any calamity. But yes, moral relativism and all that. Case in point, I do not consider you to be truly alive, ergo I will not be guilty of murder if I kill you. Oh, don't look at me like that. You for whom I have only the highest expectations. A vaunted hero of the Source, 7 times rejoined. Long have I awaited one who might brave a path of lesser tragedy. A resilient soul able to endure the necessary pain. I dare to hope that my wait is over. So, finish your task and slay the Light Warden. Make proof of your usefulness, and then we may speak again.
Forgive me, my lord, but this could not wait.
Speak freely, Captain.
What's going on now?
Our informant in Colusia sends word of unusual activity in Yulmore. It appears their forces are entrenching themselves at key points throughout the city, making ready for an attack by all indications.
An intriguing use of resources. I rather doubt Lord Vorthry is concerned for the safety of his citizens.
You think he's harboring the Light Warden inside the city walls? Even if he does have some means of controlling the Sin Eaters, wouldn't that be a little risky?
Risky or not, if there is even a chance the Warden is hiding there, we will need to act fast. The longer we wait, the better prepared the Yulmorans will be.
What if Vothry is the Light Warden?
Agreed. See to your preparations then and make for Colusia. God's willing, this hunt will last. Let us see it through to the end.
We should begin by assembling in Right. There we may assess the situation in Yulmore and decide how best to proceed.
Going guns blazing. Whoa. See that? I just noticed it myself. So I'm going to pull that back up. Because last time, the last two expansions, and including this one, most of these zones have 10 defined. Now they only have 5. Where's the nearest one here? Northeast, so it's going to be up in there. Okay. There we are, Malkazar. The others have gone ahead to reconnoiter Gate Town. We are to follow shortly. It has been a while, has it not, since the two of us infiltrated Yulmore? Since we faced Lord Vothri and felt such fury as I've never felt before. His actions are unconscionable, of course, and any abhorrence I felt for him entirely justified. Yet mingled with my rage, there was something else. At first I was unsure what it was, but in the course of our struggles, I found the answer. In Vothri's self-righteousness, and his absolute belief that he and he alone is the cure to the world's ills, I saw a reflection of myself, and it brought the memories of all my past follies flooding back. He is the vainglorious, ignorant fool I once was, and having shared in his affliction, I feel duty-bound to open his eyes to the truth. Whether he will accept it with the good grace I did is another question. What is it, Reen? Do you sense the Light Warden? I'm not sure. The aura is different. Perhaps if we were a little closer. It is time we were on our way in any case. Let us join our comrades in Gate Town. Malkazar, as a precaution, may I ask that you go first to ensure that the path is clear? The closer we are to Yulmore, the more aware that Reen may be recognized. If you see any prying eyes along the way, I encourage their owners to look elsewhere. So I can't just go there. I have to look for things along the way. No flying. I think I should leave me alone. I'm 10 levels above them. Hello, delirious youth. You hail the villain, but does not respond and continues his incoherent rambling. Oh, is this that mount? The one I just got? Probably. Agitated man. Lord Vothri, we hear, we obey. Ah. Let's see if it looks different. I know they made a lot of changes, but I don't really know all the changes they made, so... Euphoric youth. Long live Lord Vothri. Long live Lord... Dang, they're all possessed. Good. Ah, good of you to join us. I was debating whether to warn you, but it's too late now. I take it you notice the people behaving strangely along the path? It's more of the same here. Y'shtola and Alizé are investigating as we speak. Let's wait and see what they have to say.
Strange. Passing strange. By their behavior, we may safely assume that they are under Vorthri's mind control. Yet the extent of the effect seemeth to vary dramatically between subjects. It is far too pronounced to be attributed simply to the vagaries of innate magical resistance.
The food they were eating, I guess.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Whatever, Alice in Wonderland.
Trouble en route. My thanks for securing the way. But given the state of the townsfolk, I see we were never in any danger of being recognized.
What can you tell us from here?
I sense a powerful eater in the uppermost reaches of the city.
Hmm.
But there's something different about it. Its light is impure. We need to get closer.
Oh, so that one's Alphino. Well, unless you're triplets.
Kaishir, what are you doing here?
While I was scouting the area, I noticed a suspicious figure skulking about. So I accosted him, only to have him call me Alphino. I thought it best to bring him along.
You see, that informant who's been feeding secrets to the Crystarium, it's me. See, after you saved my life in Yulmore, I thought about going somewhere far away, but I couldn't just leave, not without paying you back. So I decided to stay here, keep an eye on things. And when I spotted something strange, I shared it with your friends.
How dangerous.
That took no small amount of courage. Well done.
I assume you saw what happened here.
Right, so an airship flew in a bit ago, and not long after, Vorthri starts ranting and raving. You could hear him from all the way out here. Geezer was doing his nut, shouting and screaming like someone had nicked his pie.
It is like the airship bore the soldiers sent to our efforts in Armoring.
So eventually the yelling dies down, and then this hot, sticky wind comes blowing through. Now that's when everyone went funny. No, everyone but me. Well, me and a couple of newcomers, though even they started mumbling about Vorthri after a while. Not as bad as the rest, mind you.
Newcomers.
There's something I need Reen to see. This was among the townfolk's food stores.
Yep.
Oh, that's just meal. Yulmore doles this stuff out.
No, it couldn't be.
Was it right all along? It was people?
I know what it is. It's Sin Eater.
Hmm.
Is made out of Sin Eater.
Close enough. Well, Sin Eaters used to be people, so.
So it is. In limited quantities, it may have little effect on an average individual. Yet if one were to consume it regularly, over a period of several years, I suspect it would do far, far more than merely nourish the body.
that Vorthri wieldeth power over the Sin Eaters is known. Could it be that those who partake of their flesh do thereby render themselves susceptible to his influence? 'Twould serve to explain why the town's newer arrivals succumbed less quickly than those raised on a diet of meal.
He's been rounding up Sin Eaters and feeding them to people, altering them mouthful by mouthful, all to stop them answering back. There are desperate souls out there killing themselves to escape turning. This is unforgivable. An atrocity.
These Sin Eaters. What if they're not simply rounded up? Do you remember what we were told when first we came to the city? Many enter, but none leave.
Mm-hmm. Called it.
Let us put an end to it. To this paradise built upon the bones of the poor. Vorthri's deeds are beyond justification, beyond forgiveness. Evil.
It's highly probable that the Light Warden is waiting for us somewhere in there, and I'm all for going after it. But our enemies know our faces. They know that we are coming, and they will not let us through without a fight. Like it or not, the time for stealth is past. Now, my friend, if you would be so good as to lead the charge.
Guns blazing. Heck yeah. Oh, duty. When we step to the gate, we shall find not the place of hedonistic pleasure we remember, but a battlefield. If you are prepared for this, then let us sally forth.
He would use his own people as shields.
He doesn't care about him.
This area is older than Gate Town. There are bound to be far more civilians under Vorthri's control. But they do not act of their own free will, and we must not harm them.
As if we ever would. Press on with Alphino. We'll hold off the civilians and join you as soon as we can.
You and me, Alphino, let's do this. Do no more than is necessary to subdue the civilians. Doesn't take much. We're wasting time, Reen. We hold them here while the others press on. All right. have carry you to the rest of you with me. Their minds are not their own, remember. Avoid harming them wherever possible. There's quite a few of them. There's no end of them. Oriange, would you care to make a stand? Gladly. Balgazar, pray press on to the others when the opportunity doth arise. See, Stole and Oriange are going to stick back. The way's clear. Come, you two. And found it more of them, and we were almost through. Right, my turn to make a heroic stand. As soon as there's a lull, push on. You mean this one dude? Now, Malgazar, into the tower. Just you take care, Alazar. The gestures from before. Apologies, friends. We've reached a dead end. And on this sorry track, there's no turning back. We have a good life here, see, and we're not about to lose it. But fair is fair. We'll give you a good death. If you would fight us of your own volition, then we will not hold back. This one's a real side splitter. This one's a real side splitter. At least you'll die laughing. Damage is up. Take one down, the other one gets stronger. That's pretty much what just happened. Let's climb to the canopy. From there, we'll take crown lift. While fighting going on outside, I can still see the stats. Huh. Still more soldiers. Leave them to me and press on. And nobody's here. Oh.
You will find my master in his chamber.
Why do you look different?
By But only should you kill me this day. And you will not.
You're one of his puppets too.
You may think me under his spell, but I uphold Lord Vorthry's ideals of my own volition. Man is an inherently flawed creature. In his vain pursuit of righteousness, he but sows the seeds of future conflict.
I like how it is the acid music.
Have I chosen to place my hopes upon he who has transcended men, upon he who is unbound by the vagaries of conscience? But enough talk. I am a soldier, and you are my enemy. Come, let us settle this once and for all.
Don't lose. Ever since I submitted to my master's authority, I have been naught but a weapon. Come on, say something. I exist only to destroy, and destroy you I will. Rising thunder. It's time we settle this, villain. I agree, villain. Shattered sky. Let's throw on a damage reduction. Good thing I did. A hot pursuit. Name. He's a lot easier than he was before. If you would pass me, you must endure all that I have learned on the battlefield, for I am a weapon forged in the fires of war. Boom. There you are, my precious girls. What precious girls? Come on, let's load. Are you alright, Malchazar? Aw, no more voice acting. The citizens appear to have calmed down for the moment. I can only assume Lothar is otherwise engaged. Let's get to the upper level while we can. What is he eating? Yeah, the Sin Eaters? Yeah, sound effects.
Lord Vorthree, your reign of tyranny is at an end. For too long you have preyed upon the desperation of the poor. Now you will answer for the suffering you have caused.
He's not even listening to you.
And if you harbor even a shred of remorse, I beseech you to use your powers to redress the balance for the future of all in Norvrant.
No, it can't be. This is wrong. It's wrong. The Warden, it's not just a Sin Eater. It's a man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's eating all that meal. Dang.
Remorse? For the future of all? What nonsense is this? There is no justice but mine. No future but mine. No will but mine.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
It is preordained. I was born to deliver this wretched world. Me? Unseated? No. It's impossible. Inconceivable. Absurd. I am a great and wise king. Greatest and wisest. I reign from on high. I will not be brought low by maggots like you! Oh, yes, of course. I can begin again. Rebuild my paradise. Once I finish my dinner.
Pork and all.
No, stop him! Thancred, stop him!
Such little wings for such a big guy. Where did he go? Oh, dang it. There's about voice acting again. Didn't seem like it for a second. Perfect formation with running.
What in the heavens? Did Vorthri do that?
We must give chase.
Wait. That is Mount Golg, the highest peak in Calusia. It lies on the other side of a sheer cliff, and much as I wish it were otherwise, it is beyond our reach for now. But
Mount Golg.
there are people here who need our help.
Mount Golg was from Final Fantasy 1.
Oh, Alphino.
Please, even if it's only to tend to their wounds.
I'll help too.
Thank you.
I don't know if it will work, but if Vorthri's hold over the people is rooted in light, I might be able to reverse its effects. Will you let me try?
Of course. We'd be grateful for any help you can provide.
Well then, if it's decided, let's all get to work.
Have a job to do. I'll be right back. I have returned. Good news, everyone. The slime is flowing again. Oh, wrong game. Good news, Malgazar. It would seem that Reen is indeed able to reverse the effects of Vothri's influence. Even as we speak, she tends to the afflicted in turn. The problem being, there's no end to them. We're trying to help provide what relief we can to those who are waiting and would appreciate your help if you're willing. Okay, now attune to the Aetheryte. I'm going to take care of that first before I talk to Thancred. I assume that's going to be the area where I go to Mount Gulg. So I have this half of Kalusia to do. Yep. Probably head up to Northern Kalusia, finish this off, and then we'll move on to the next area. That'll probably be what happens. So here is some dream powder. We're administering it to the enthralled to keep them calm until they can receive proper attention. I'd appreciate it if you could assist us with this task. Now, those affected are scattered all over the city. I suggest you starting your search of the derelicts and working your way up. When you are done, be sure to let Reen know. Is it really the lowest? I thought that I can go lower. Yeah, there we are. Kind of weird how it does that. Because top, middle, bottom. Strange. Okay. Lord Vothri, you are my daily meal. Snore, snore. Huh. There we go. These would rather take away the pain. You're the kind soul will save me from falling to my death. My mistress, she's been injured. Please help her, I beg you. What is this? Sleeping. A medicine to help her rest while she waits treatment, you say? Oh, thank you so much. When she began acting strangely, I didn't know what to do. This seems to be the I can't remember the place where Rowena is. I'm gonna look it up. I'm just Mordona. Revenant's Toll. There we go. Or Idleshire, or Robber's Reach of this expansion. Must stop trespassers sullying our paradise. Then essentially where all the endgame stuff is. Where do you fly to, my sweet canary? Alright, where's Reen? Is she on this level? Good. Oh, there you are, Malkazar. I just finished aiding this man. Now for the next one. More out in the derelicts and below, you say? So many of them. But I'm feeling entrusted this power to me. I won't rest until I've helped everyone. I can bring the enthralled to you. Oh, that would certainly make it easier for me to work. Thank you, Malkazar. I'll do my best to keep pace. I do I actually have to go get him, or do I want to bring him on in a cinematic?
You're going to be all right.
I think that's the last of them.
We've done all we can for the wounded. As for the rest...
Aren't you Alphino? The painter boy? What in the world is going on? Did something happen to us?
Tell them the truth.
Let me handle this.
Okay. Your charisma score is much higher than mine is.
Citizens of Yulmore, what I'm about to tell you will come as a shock. Indeed, you may be loath to believe it, but if you trust the evidence of your senses, it is my hope that you will listen and accept the truth, unpalatable though it may be. Vorthri is a sin-eater. Everything he offered, everything he promised, was a lie.
Oh, I wanted to listen to the whole explanation.
They're not taking it well, and who could blame them?
Are you saying we were Vorthri's puppets all this time?
When you attacked us, you were not yourselves. That much is true. But your conduct prior to that moment was your own. Vorthri's unnatural charisma does not absolve you of all responsibility. Of your own free will, you came to the city and gave yourselves over to its pleasures. And in the course of this, if you mistreated those less fortunate than you, then that too was of your own free will. It is not for me to judge you, but for your victims, for history, for your conscience. You have dreamed a twisted dream, but now you are awake. You may yet share this world of ours. Join with us and each other, that we might begin anew. We've lost so many already. We dare not lose any more. I have said my piece. My thanks for giving me the chance. There is nothing more to be done here. Let us go after Vorthri.
Is there anything we can do to help? You risked your lives to bring us to our senses, and I, for one, hope to repay that debt. Begin anew, as you said.
Vorthri has fled to Mount Gulg, and we mean to pursue him. Do any of you know the way?
The only way to Mount Gulg is over the Bright Cliff. Have you an airship?
We will contemplate flight only as a last resort. Were we to come under attack whilst airborne, we would have little hope of defending ourselves. If at all possible, we would prefer to travel by land. Is there a way?
ladder is the only way up and down the cliff, but it hasn't moved in a long time. In the old days, it was operated by the mining folk who lived at the top. After the flood, it saw less and less use, and when Lord Vorthry took control, it was abandoned altogether.
Lord Vorthry.
So we somehow need to get the ladder working again.
It moves by means of a talos, if that's any help. But good luck repairing that.
Talos? Did someone say Talos? You know all about them, don't you, dearest? If anyone can get this lift moving, it's you.
Well, perhaps. But see here.
Oh, yes. If you want the golem restored, you may leave it to my husband. For he happens to be the heir to Daedalus Stoneworks, foremost makers of Talos, whose contracts include the renowned mining venture of Armoreng.
It's been years and years since I had anything to do with it. I can't just pick up a hammer and set to work.
You can't?
No, that's not what I... It's just...
Just do it.
All right, I will take a look at the Talos. But beyond that, I make no promises. Those with strong backs, come with me. I'll need help dragging the damn thing out of the storehouse.
Well done, brother.
All the nods.
Come, my friend. We have work to do.
Oh, was that? Oh, is this the music of Yulmore? Kind of threw me off. I'm like, what the heck? Where's my quest? There it is. You glisten with joy. The ladder is situated to the north and west of Right. Let us make our way there, Malchezair. Yeah, now I get access to this area. Come on. Really impossible? Jeez. What a pain. There's what they call the ladder. Looks like. Nope, they already got him out. You see yonder pair of Talos. For a blessing, they were found to be good repair. Master Chai prepareth to activate them as we speak. With our arcane knowledge, Y'shtola and I will serve as his assistants. At the appointed hour, we shall imbue the golems with ether. Others, meanwhile, attend to the ladder itself, which hath too long lain neglected. Extensive maintenance will be needed ere it can move again, as well as myriad materials with which to perform it. If thou art willing, we would prevail upon thee to procure lumber. My thanks, Malgazar. Directly to the south, thou will fight at Dry Dock, Venmont Yards. Pray see if thou canst persuade the folk there to part with some lumber for our cause. Free company invite. No. Personal challenge. Finish the entirety of the story, as much as it's up to at least, without getting into a free company. Even though, sure, there's a bunch of bonuses, like 10% more experience or whatever. Oh there, sinner. Haven't seen you around before. New to Gate Town, I take it. If you need lumber for a shack, you come to the right place. We can do the building for you too, though that'll cost extra. You want lumber to restore the ladder? Why in the world would anyone want to do that? If you don't have the coin, the least you can do is come up with a believable excuse. But look, I'm not one to turn folk away. I'll give you the lumber if you do me a favor in return. Go kill something. I just finished taking stock of our supply, and about to do another round for good measure. I want you to do the counting instead, and we'll see if your total matches mine. Now, some of the lumber is lying about the yard, but most of it is kept in the storehouse. For these, you can just ask Real for the number. Here, I'll lend you some writing material so you can take notes. Take stock. What you learn will be reviewed in your key items. Start with Grithil. Taking stock for Irvith, are you? Well, that's accounted. We had 68 planks in the storehouse here. 9 of those are rotted through, though, so we tossed them out. Oh, Grithil, another load's just arrived. 13 planks all told, but one's damaged. Only good for kindling now. Right then, bring the good ones here, and be sure to let Irvith know as well. Do I have to keep track of this? So, how many planks does that make now? And you're writing down these numbers anyway, right? I'm sure you can work it out. Jot down the details of the conversation. $11 planks in that stack. Probably some up here. Yep, there it is. $24. Just to make sure, let's see if it actually is in there. $68 minus 9, 59 plus 13, 72 minus 1, 71, 95, 106. What are you? How many planks did you count? Aye, that's exactly what I counted. Thanks for your help, friend. Taking stock fair puts me to sleep, but it has to be done. Promise I'll give you your lumber. We need it for anyway. The ladder. You were serious about the ladder, I'll be damned. If that's the case, please let us help with the work. We're shipwrights with no ships to build, only shacks. While it's a living, we all itch to do something greater. This fellow you say is in charge, you reckon he'd mind the likes of us barging in on his project? He'd welcome the help. Wonderful. I'll round up the lads and lasses, and we'll head over to the ladder, along with all the lumber you need. Speak with Orionje. I'm take a nap. Let me know when I get there. Okay, at least the music's pretty good. There we go. Ah, thou art returned. Weren't we able to procure the lumber? Well, not to secure not only material, but the eager cooperation of the shipwrights besides. Their expertise shall greatly avail our efforts. Master Chai's own efforts have not been without struggle, but he hath proven himself to be a determined soul. I doubt not but that the work shall be completed ere long, and we may continue on our way once more. Though it hath been years in the making, at long last do the people stand united in defiance of the world's fate, their hope spurring us ever onward toward the journey's end. Whatsoever may await us, when thou takest those final steps, I pray that it shall be with a smile upon thy face. But prematurely do I give myself to sentimental musings. Many more pressing matters demand our attention, not the least of which is the matter of how we might reach the mountain, detached from the land as it is. For the present, it would appear we have matters here well in hand. Perhaps thou shouldst take thine ease for a time. Thou wilt need every ounce of thy strength for the trials ahead. What if I don't wanna? Go lay down over here.
Would you look at that? The citizens of Yulmore engaging in what can only be described as manual labor. Who would have thought it possible?
Why don't you just teleport to me?
Do you know the most reliable way to deal with those who stubbornly refuse to see reason? You conquer them, crush them under heel. Such was the trusted method of Alec, and one still favored by Garlemald. Conquest is the easy part. The true challenge begins once the dust has settled, quenching the glowing embers of animosity and maintaining a semblance of peace. This requires the conqueror to treat the conquered with dignity, and the conquered to let bygones be bygones, a difficult feat to achieve. But you have achieved just that, to my considerable surprise. It's a compliment. Take it. The vibrant energy that fills the air when like-minded souls gather. To think back on that time before time, fair brings a tear to the eye. What? You thought ancient beings like us incapable of crying? Rest assured that if your heart can be broken, then so can mine. Back when the world was whole, we had family, friends, loves. Men knew peace and contentment, and with our adamant souls, we could live for an age. There was no conflict born of want or disparity. Our differences paled in insignificance next to all we had in common. And then there was Amaranth. was a city more magnificent. From the humblest streets to the highest spires, she fairly gleamed. Not that you would remember any of this.
Remember?
Never mind. The point is, the world of old was a far better place than what we have now. I believe you would like it, having witnessed the things you have. Remember, you are of the source. Unlike the half-men here, you stand only to gain. Should you survive the remaining calamities, you will become our equal. A complete existence in a complete world. But such talk is a pleasure for later. Back to work, hero. Ah, there was one thing I had meant to ask. How well do you know the exile? Has he ever deigned to show you what hides beneath the cowl? What? Never? Even to you? How very interesting. I shall enjoy working out what it means. Until next time.
I knew you could do it, dearest. I never doubted you for a moment.
They just start attacking people.
It's alive. I don't know if you remember, but when we first met in this world, I was all but spent. I never thought to wonder why until now. I think it all just got to be too much. The guilt of causing the flood, knowing everyone hated me. But the worst thing was the solitude. Time wears high. Solitude eats away at you. It was this close to finishing me off. But as bad as it got, and as empty as I felt, I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like for Emmett's son. All of which is a long way of saying, don't make a choice that leaves you alone. Nothing is worth that, especially not eternity.
Oh, excuse me.
Glad tidings, my friend. The ladder lives again.
How do we know? You haven't tried it.
3 of us have been invited to do the honors. Are you up for it? Of course, if you're worried that the whole thing might be crashing down, we can always find someone else. That's the spirit. Come on then.
We rode the ladder too, my comrades and I. Once upon a time. Watched the horizon grow, and the town shrink below us. Awed and terrified in equal measure, we ascended without a word, the silence broken only by the rhythm of the gears. No one but me remembers that day.
It's going at a pretty good clip.
Remembers our journey and our end. Retread the path. Seek, and you may yet find.
Oh. Oh, there it is. And here we are, finally are at top rung. The other should arrive ere long. Alphino, Malchazar, come up here. There's something you need to see. What could this be about? There's a village, Malchazar, over to the northeast. So there is, yet after 2 decades without light operation, I can't even look. It won't even let me. I would not be surprised if such an isolated settlement had long since been abandoned. Can I look? Ah, the camera's stuck. Nor I, but that was before I spied someone leave it and proceed to head in our direction, all the while trying to remain unseen. Whoever this mysterious person is, they should still be out there. Go and take a look, Malchazar. Alright, I can look now. Aw. Can't just jump over. Can't even just jump over that. Okay. Can jump over this? Yeah. Wait, it's still up here. I'm confused. What do you mean by look? I thought I was going to go somewhere. I wasn't even paying attention. I have to espy them from afar. He just stares at you unflinchingly. This probably isn't as mysterious personnel as I saw. You've located the mysterious person, however, it seems he's likely spotted you and hurriedly returns back to the village. There's someone, right? And they were spying on us. Personally, I don't feel comfortable not knowing who they are. What do you say we investigate? I'm curious too, I must admit. I dare say we have a bit of time ere the others ascend. It's settled then. Let's head to the village and see if it's indeed inhabited. Now I can go down. How many more are there? 3 more quests and 3 more actual 8th occurrence. Amity Village Horror. I don't care. I wasn't even doing anything. Alright, there it is. Way up there. Okay. Let's get to this village. No point in going out of my way and getting the Aether Currents anyway, because I still need the ones from the quests, and those haven't appeared yet. Food has been hung out to dry in the sun, and quite recently by your reckoning. Investigate the door. You hear faint sounds from inside the building, however the door refuses to budge. Okay, where's my last little thing to click on? On the back there. No? Probably around the back of the big house. Still no? Did I miss it? What? I sworn I heard a noise. Crates barrels are laden with unknown contents, so nothing from those guys. What the heck? Is it underneath something? Is it inside? There it is. Half-empty cup. Cups are half empty or half full, depending how you see such things. Behind the counter, a kettle bubbles steadily over the stove. What news, Balcazar? Were we able to find anything of note? People are definitely still living here. Indeed, while there's no one to be seen, 'tis plain that this village is anything but abandoned. If the villagers are trying to conceal themselves, they're doing a rather poor job of it. But if they don't wish to be seen, what are we to do? I say, aren't you the ones who saved my life? You're Tristal, the artist from Mulmore. You remembered. Ever since we parted ways, I've worried for you, bound for the city as you were. Never did I imagine that we'd meet again, and here of all places. I can say this very same thing to you, my friend. I'm glad to see you hale and whole. But tell me, what is this village? This is Amity, a settlement made up of those who survived being exiled from Mulmore. As I wandered the wilds, I chanced to cross paths with an inhabitant of these parts. He took me through a secret tunnel, which led to the top of the bright cliff. I've been here ever since. Life is hard, but we know a semblance of peace. Well, we did at any rate, until Mount Gold broke away from the earth. Then just as suddenly, the ladder started moving again. And you feared whoever was coming up would threaten your lives. Aye, but I see now there is no cause for concern. Will you tell me what has brought you here? Explain, explain. Explain, explain, explain. Savathri is a sea leader, and he's fled to Mount Golg. It's a strange tale, but I have no reason to doubt your words. I owe you my life. If there's anything I can do to help, you need but say the word. Your help would be most welcome, Tristal. To begin with, we request your people's permission to reconnoiter the area. If we are to confront Vothri, we must find a way to reach Mount Golg. Of course, you hardly need our permission to be here. I'll tell the others about you and yours. Now, we haven't much to offer in the way of hospitality, but our village is at your disposal. Please use it as you see fit in your quest. Yet another hapless soul that Alphino saved from mortal danger, I see. Some things never change. At any rate, it seems that brother has a mind to linger. Meanwhile, I have a mind for us to explore. Malgazar and I are going to scout the area. We'll be back in a while. Oh. Well then, just take care out there. Any blue quests? Nope. The path diverges. Let's split up some cover more ground. I'll go east if you'd be so kind as to head west. We can aim to meet at the foot of the mountain. Take note of what we see along the way. In a short while then. Filthy sin eaters. Interesting creatures. They look like it's a pile of rubble.
You're a sight for sore eyes. I don't know about you, but I bumped into quite a few sin eaters out there. You too, then. It seems the closer we get to Mount Gulg, the more of them. looks a lot bigger from here, doesn't it? If I were Vorthri, the first thing I'd do is surround myself with as many sin eaters as I could lay my hands on. And judging by the number we've already faced, his lordship is of the same mind. This is going to be a tough climb. But first things first. We need to determine if climbing is even an option. The more I look, the less likely it seems. Y'shtola is right to be worried. But flying may be our only choice after all.
We'll see.
There you are. Master Alphino was afeard you had met with some misfortune.
And you too, Exar. What brings you here?
I wish to observe the final struggle with my own eyes. I arrived at Bottom Run too late to accompany you, but I was in time to join Urianger and the others. Come, let us see how this unfolds.
Seems flying is off the table.
If we have learned that much, then the Machina have served their purpose.
Ah, so that's what they were for. Wasteful, but effective.
It would seem our foe will not be reached by land or air. We must needs withdraw to consider another course. Master Alphino waiteth for us atop Run. Thither should we make our way.
You're gonna teleport me? Of course not. I'm gonna grab this while I'm over here. The heck? Lolly ho. Dwarves? Yep. These are the Final Fantasy IV dwarves. They're just over here, just chilling. The one spot in the world where they exist. Nope, not going for that. Wait, later. I didn't expect to see the Chais here, though I suppose it's well within their rights. At any rate, it's time to tackle our next little obstacle, finding a way to reach Mount Gulg. For this, we need to put all our heads together.
In short, there's no path, and the sky is the Vorthry's winged devils.
We might consider Amaro, but without extensive training, we cannot hope to contend with the Eaters. Yulmor's airship fleet, meanwhile, consists solely of transport vessels ill-suited for battle. And without the expertise of one such as Sid, we are in no position to attempt a refit.
Oh, it's so frustrating! That wretched mountain should jolly well come back down to earth.
There's an idea.
We mustn't disturb these good people. Ridden the ladder, seen the sights. It's past time we took our leave.
The lady may well have the right of it. Mount Gulg will not soon come down to Earth, nor can we compel it to do so. But if the mountain will not come to the land, mayhap the land may be made to come to the mountain. In the form of a Talos. A Talos large enough to reach out and take the volcano in its grasp.
Kaiju battle.
Such a golem would be an onerous undertaking indeed, yet the principle seemeth sound in itself.
Boulder Dash! No one has ever made one even half that size. Leaving aside the small matter of logistics, which, by the way, would be no small matter, the design would be unimaginably complex. Though, I suppose, if its only function is to cling to the ruddy mountain, perhaps it needn't be. Solid base, firmly rooted to the ground, sacrifice mobility to simplify the construction, reducing materials required. Wait, what am I thinking? We would still need a veritable army of people to do the work. Left to the crew that helped down below, it would take decades, if not a nice round century.
So we need more hands. And what sort of things would these hands be required to do?
Well, let's see. First, we need people to procure the stone for the chassis. The rock found in the mountain would suit our purposes well enough. It would be a simple task to quarry the stuff, but given the stupendous quantity required, we need all the help we can get.
We have friends amongst the miners of Armoraine. I will go and petition their aid.
While you do that, I'll I'm sure I'll be able to drum up some support.
Then I shall return to Calusia.
We're in Calusia.
Yulmor is home to all manner of talented folk. I dare say their skills will avail us.
Is there anything else you need?
He's like, we're doing this. Oh, okay.
Well, yes, actually. Magic. Lots of the stuff, as much as possible. To awaken a Talus of this size would require an entire congregation of mages.
Many among the Knights Blessed are gifted in the arcane arts. I will recruit them to our cause.
The Fey folk, too, possess surpassing aptitude in magics. Yet they are not wont to cooperate in the endeavors of men. Leastwise, not without making all manner of mischief. That being the case, I I would instead call upon the people of the Crystarium, with thy permission, Exarch.
We are at your disposal, as are our Amaro and Chocobos.
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me you can call on not only the people of Yulmore and the Crystarium, but the Knights Blessed and the Maul, and even those miners? But that's just about everyone in Ballynorvrand. Who are you? And how did you come to have so many friends?
We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Adventures of no import.
No import? You expect me to believe that after you just promised me the help of the better part of the world?
We're just going to stand here and stare at you.
So, as you can see, you will not want for bodies. I trust you will have your design ready in good time for their arrival. Norvrant is counting on you, heir to Daedalus Stoneworks.
We'll be back as soon as we can, and we'll bring the whole world with us.
I take it we will be assisting Master Chai, though I am quite sure he is under control.
What is my quest? What do I get to do? Talk to Mr. Chai. Have the design ready, he says. In good timing, she says. What does she even understand what's involved? Or can even attempt to design anything. I need intimate knowledge of the land, the knowledge of locals. Last I heard, no one lives here. What? A village of Yulmore exiles? But those people have every reason to loathe a free citizen like me. They couldn't possibly be willing to cooperate. Oh, this will never work. Never. I never should have fixed that ruddy lift. Never should have ridden it up here. Never should have. Never should have. Oh dear. Darling appears to have lost the plot. But he has it in him, Malchazar. He's the cleverest man I know. He just wants for confidence sometimes. If you were to give him some words of encouragement, I'm sure he can give you your Talos. A bit of advice I learned from his mother. He responds poorly to obvious praise. You need to find another way to stoke the fires of his motivation. Awaken his sense of daring. Choose words that best encourage him. You must lift his spirit sufficiently during the conversation. Why did I fail? It's like game over. It's a puzzle. I can't do it. No one can. Tiles of that size. No one's even dreamed of it. Julia is counting on you as well. I know. You hardly need to tell me that. Do you think I'd disappoint her if I could help it? Regardless of my own feelings, I can't do a damn thing without help from those villagers. They're not bally to like to give it. Trust is among them. You said you're so yourself. At least you've forgotten. We essentially sent him to his death. Even if the others don't bear a personal grudge, he would never forgive us. You don't need to apologize. I'll come with you. If you were there too, perhaps you'd be more willing to accept an apology. Wait, what am I thinking? Rallying others to fight in my battles? It's disgraceful is what it is. And it might even make things worse. Still harbor some misgivings. And in the end, it's not even a question of forgiveness. Building such an enormous talos is impossible, and no amount of contrition will change that. And even if by some miracle the people of Amity were willing to let bygones be bygones, they'd think the plan itself is absurd. I think it's absurd. We liberate a castle with a strategy that many would call absurd. Well now, to flood the very castle you sought to reclaim, such a strategy could indeed be considered absurd. You succeeded not in spite of, but because of it. Our own strategy may likewise seem absurd, but maybe, just maybe, it stands a better chance of success for it. I think somewhat optimistic. Be that as it may, there are risks to consider should the venture fail. I imagine for a moment that if we fail to reach FFXIV and only succeed in provoking him, in his fury he may well unleash his hordes of eaters, and will meet a terrible end. Then we'll go together. Oh no, ooh, that was bad. It's a day with you. A very kind of you offer, but if it's all the same, I'd rather keep on living. How can you remain so optimistic through all of this? It's downright tiring. Tell me, why do you throw yourself in the midst of such grueling struggle? Check those I love. Huh? Indeed, what else could compel us to face such dangers? I too have someone I wish to protect, with whom I wanted would live up my days in peace. It's burning with motivation. Roar! Perfect. Yes, yes, but the gods, I can do this. I need to have a little faith in myself. Right, let's head to Amity and speak with the villagers, with Tristal. My love of things are liable to become more dangerous. I'll wait for me back in Yulmore. No, wherever you go, I'm going too. Besides, you're not the only one who has to apologize. But there's no telling what may happen out there. I don't know if I can keep you safe. Perhaps it's a bad idea after all. I don't think I have what it takes. Master Chai, that you were beset with doubt is proof that you can envision the task ahead. And with that which man can envision, he can make reality. Thus did some old friends of mine once say. Even should it be a feat fit for the divine, if something has been done before, then it most assuredly can be done again by our own hands. That's a little idealistic, don't you think? Perhaps, Master Chai, perhaps. But what is a man if not an idealistic creature? 'Tis not an easy thing to achieve one's dreams. My friends can attest to that. Countless times did they meet with frustration in the course of their endeavors. No one would have found fault with them had they given up, yet they never did. One step after the next, they forged on towards their goals. And for their determination, they accomplished numerous feats that many believe lay beyond the reach of mankind. Like them, you are a man of science. Amidst your doubts, surely there is a spark of desire. A desire to make the impossible possible. Come, darling, like the old days, I would be the first to see your Talos. And he shall be, my dear. I would have none other at my side when my greatest masterpiece awakens. Right then, to Amity. I'm glad my work struck a chord. Shall we? You have every right to be angry with us, but please listen to what I have to say. I'm tasked with delivering these people to Mount Gold by means of a talos of heretofore unseen proportions. However, I cannot do this without the cooperation of those with intimate knowledge of this land. That is, you and your fellow villagers. Cooperation? After you ignore my desperate pleas and cast me out, you have the gall to come here and ask for my cooperation? You have every right to be upset. Vothri's not the one to blame for your suffering. We are. We were free citizens, without a care in the world, if indifferent to the hardship of others. We didn't know what would become of you, and frankly, we didn't care. But we know now that what we did to you, to fool many, was wrong. Terribly wrong. No words will suffice to make amends, but I want you to know that we are deeply sorry. I'm not sure how I feel. Should I forgive you? Hate you? Perhaps that's not even my place to judge. After all, I sought a place in your city. I wanted to be you once. One thing is clear to me. All that is in the past, and we mustn't let past wrongs stand in the way of a brighter future. And so I will cooperate with you. Please see our friends to Mount Gold. You have my word. I'll set to work on the design at once. Wouldn't do it have nothing to show the others when they return with help. Make no mistake, this venture is unprecedented in the history of Talos building, and in the history of all mankind, but rest assured that this genius of Daedalus Stoneworks will deliver. Ah, wicked white. Is there a problem? Well, you see, I've been promised people to procure the stone as well as imbue magic. When I was put on the spot earlier, I thought that was all was required. But I forgot about one rather important item needed to bring a Talos to life. But you did. The heart. That's right, the heart. I'm pleased to see you have some familiarity with Talos. So while I work on the design, I'd be much obliged if you could see to procuring the ore with which to fashion a heart. A heart suitable of bringing to life a Talos that shall embrace the very firmament. Huh. Hi, Mithril. Gives me a big old beard. If you seek material for Talos' heart, I know people who may be able to assist. They are the Thalls, a dwarven family that have long mined this land. None knows its bounty as well as they. If you explain your situation, I'm sure they'd be willing to cooperate. Indeed, it was one of them that showed me the secret tunnel at the top of the cliff. You will find the Thalls at their village to the northwest, a place called Tomra. When you arrive, seek an audience with Chief Zametz, and do not forget to greet them with a hearty lolly-ho. Remember to join you, Malkazar. I would keep my joints limber, and mayhap it can provide some manner of assistance. I'll leave the heart to the two of you then. The variety of ore doesn't matter so long as it's rich with ether. I'll aim to have my design complete by your return. Good thing I've already been there. So this is Tomra. Seldom do we see the dwarven folk at the Crystarium, to now be in the presence of so many. I shall enjoy not having to crane my neck for a change. Lolly ho! Lolly ho? What's our excuse for greeting was that? Where's your heart, lad? Your stones. Come, let's try it again. Lolly ho! Lolly ho! Your turn. Not bad, not bad, but there's room for improvement. Any road, now that we've observed common courtesy, who are you, and what are you doing here? At the recommendation of the citizens of Amity, we have come to seek the aid of the Fall family. May we speak with Chief Zamet? Why, yes you may. I am Zamet, and I bid you welcome to Tomra. If it's the folk of Amity who sent you here, you must have quite a tale to tell. Come, let's hear it. Explain, explain. Explain, 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 and pan up. Well, well, and here I thought those below had no fight left in them. Having said that, it's not like we know how to deal with a floating volcano and all them sin-eaters neither. If you're serious about restoring peace to these parts, though, we'll gladly lend you a hand. However, the kind of ore you seek's precious to us, too. If I let you have it only for you to bungle things up and squander it, like no amount of ale will wash away my chagrin. First, I need to make sure you're worthy, by means of a trial. A trial most tricksy, passed down through the line of Fall. And what is this trial? Come with me and I'll tell you all. Only Lalafels may enter this area. Wow. I wonder what's actually in there. Listen well. As you know, we're a mining folk, and in the mining life, danger is a constant companion. So when you come of age, each of us must prove our readiness to take to the mines. This week we're undertaking a trial that tests the 3 traits all good miners can't do without: discernment, diligence, and dexterity. We call it 3D Mine Runner. Now look at my helm. Mark its features well. You'll be given a slingshot, which you must use to shoot dwarves, as wear helms that are different. I've already made the necessary arrangements. When you're ready to take the trial, report to the observer nearby. Best of luck to you. Ho, you must be the challenger the chief mentioned. I'll show up to the rooftop at once. As I'm sure you've been told, in 3D Mine Runner, use a slingshot to shoot them as wear the wrong helm. Let's begin with a spot of practice, eh? Shoot. Keep it up in the actual trial, eh? Alright, that's the way. Next time is the trial for shrew. Let me know when you're ready, eh? Alright, okay. This time there'll be There will be them as wear the right helm. You shoot them, you fail. So look carefully before you let the stone fly. Well done. A fine show of discernment and dexterity. Well done, well done. The trial never lies. You've got what it takes to be minor. That was easy. Run along back to the chief now and get on to putting an end to all this strangeness of late. That was impressive shooting, lad. Consider me just satisfied. Aye, 'tis plain you didn't come this far with luck alone, so I'll place my faith in you, and I'll tell you to help you find the ore you seek. Did you know that Calusia is rich in sulfur? Well, it is. We've mined the stuff since ancient times. And every so often, the self-same veins yield what's called earth seed, a rare ore steeped in magic. Time was, we used to refine earth seed for this and that, but the technique's been lost. The stuff's still out there to be had, though, provided you know where to look. And no place is surer than Durger's Tool. Problem is, the site's occupied by our age-old rivals, the Gogs. Greedy sods claim the place is theirs, and refuse to let any other bugger near. Oh, there never was a more odious lot than them Gogs. I could go on forever about those hornless horsens, but then they'd be here forever, and that won't get us nowhere. What boils down to this, you want the Earthseed, you would deal with the Gogs. Reckon you're up to the challenge? We've dealt with far worse. I'm sure we could find a way to obtain what we need. That's the spirit. Now, to help you find your way, I'll have one of ours go with you. I'll do it. I'll go with him. You, Karut? I couldn't help overhearing. I knew the Eaters had flocked to Mount Gold, but I didn't know why. I think the last Light Warden's hiding up there. The fate of Calusia, no, the world hangs in the balance. If I could be of some help, then I want to do my part. Your zeal is commendable, lad, but it isn't so simple. So, this here is Karut. Young as he is, he's one of the village's finest miners. The lad's got an uncanny sense of where to dig, and his aim with a pickaxe is as true as any dwarf's. I'll put him in thick of battle, then he couldn't hit the side of a minecart if he was sitting in it. If all he needed to do was dig, he'd be your dwarf, but he's allowed to become a sin eater's breakfast before he can even manage a swing. It's true, I'm hopeless in a fight. I still want to try. Please let me go with you. I'll take care of you. You take care of the ore. Oh, thank you so much. I'll try my best not to be a burden. If you want to take Karut, far be it for me to stop you. Keep him safe, though, will you? We will most assuredly encounter sin eaters along the way. Though with you in our company, they'll be more a spectacle than a concern. Ooh. Grab these. I'm actually going to go ahead and end it here for the night. That's about 3.5 hours in, which is very successful for me. So everyone out there who was watching on stream, fantastic. If you throw me a follow, it really does help me out, and it is free for you to do. This video, as well as all the others, will be uploaded to YouTube for your viewing pleasure. So if you wanted to check that out, you can look at Malkazair and watch the journey from level 1 up to this point, as well as any other games that I've been playing. I've just finished a complete playthrough of the Steam version of Chrono Trigger, so you can check that out there as well. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and everyone have a great day.